I'm gonna put on my headphones before we start, because my luck, y'all probably won't be able to hear me, because that's just how tech works with me. They don't like me. Oh, Connor, here's the charger. Before I get started. You don't need the computer one, do you? No, I have mine. Okay. Clunky headset as always. Okay, so we're missing Kelly, Louise, Dinkov. Oh, Louise is running late. Can somebody check in on Kelly? Please and thank you.
Okay, Dean Cobb is coming on late. She didn't get the agenda, so I'm sending it to her right now.
Oh, I sent it to her, and she said
You
she
did?
responded to it.
Okay.
Oh, Louise, hi. You made it.
I know, I was scared I'd be late today.
No, I can have it up and it'll be fine.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you all want to wait for Kelly, or should we get started?
You have quorum, you're good to go.
All right, let me just hit record before I forget. And can everyone see my screen? All right, we're all good. Let me just make sure I can move you guys into the corner so I can see all of your lovely faces during this. All right. Then on that note, I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 12:06 p.m. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are conducting business on the native land of the Hahamanga tribe and offer a moment of silence for those who came before us. Moving on, let's see. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda for January 27th, 2021. If there's nothing that needs to be edited or changed, if there is, please let me know.
You need to do a roll call for attendance.
Oh, sorry, I skipped that. We'll go back to roll call. Chris?
Here.
Christina?
Here.
Louise?
Here.
Michael?
Here.
Alex?
Here.
Jasmine?
Here.
Philly?
Here.
Kelly?
Here.
Emmanuel?
Present.
Kyle?
Here.
David?
Here.
All right, now that we've established quorum, we can go ahead and move on to the approval of the agenda. Same as before, if there's nothing that needs to be edited or changed, I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Can I get it?
Agenda?
Yep.
A motion to approve the agenda.
All right, so first I heard motion from Michael, then second by Kyle.
I'll second. I'll second.
All right. Then I'll go ahead and bring that to roll call vote. Chris?
Aye.
Christina?
Aye.
Louise?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Alex?
Aye.
Jasmine?
Aye.
Philly?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Emmanuel? Emmanuel?
Aye.
Thank you. Kyle?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
All right. We have approved the agenda. Moving on to approval of minutes. We've got a couple here, so hang in there for that. All right. So first, we're going to start off with let me go back. All right. First, we'll start off with the minutes of October 28th, 2020. If the minutes look good and nothing needs to be edited or changed, I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Just get through it.
I move approval of the minutes.
All right, we have a first.
Of what day?
October 20th.
Thank you, David. Can we get a second?
Second.
All All right, we have a second by Michael. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a roll call vote. Chris,
Aye.
Christina,
Aye.
Louise,
I.
Michael,
Aye.
Alex,
Aye.
Jasmine,
I.
Philly,
Aye.
Kelly,
I.
Emmanuel,
Aye.
Kyle, David.
Aye.
All right. The minutes have been approved. Moving on to the next set of minutes. We have the minutes for November 25th, 2020. Same as before. If there's nothing that needs to be edited or changed, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move approval of the minutes for November 25th.
I second.
All right, first by David, second by Jasmine. We'll go ahead and bring it to a roll call vote. Chris,
Aye.
Christina,
I.
Louise,
I.
Michael, Alex,
Aye.
Jasmine,
I.
Philly,
Aye.
Kelly,
I.
Emmanuel,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
David.
Aye.
All right, minutes November 25th have been approved. And next we have the minutes for December 2nd. Same as the other minutes. If there is nothing that needs to be edited or changed, I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
A motion to approve the minutes of December 2nd, 2020.
I second.
All right, thank you guys. All right, so we'll go ahead and bring that to roll call vote. Chris,
Aye.
Christina,
I.
Louise,
I.
Michael, Alex,
Aye.
Jasmine,
I.
Philly,
Aye.
Kelly,
I.
Emmanuel,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
David. Oh, wait, David.
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on. Wait, where'd my little button go? And I exited. Well, that's all the minutes, so thank you all so much. Next, we'll be moving on to the approval of the minutes for, wait, is that not in that one? Okay, I gotta pull up the other minutes. Hold on. Where? That's there. Here we go. That should be, let me make sure that's the correct one. Wait, no, did we do the minutes for January 13th? I don't see it. No, not those ones. Let me go back to it. Sorry, just hang in 1 second. Unless anyone else sees it.
Mac, what month are you looking for? I can look for it.
For
too.
January 13th. And it's also for January 20th. I thought I had these ones up. It says in this email that it should be in there, so I don't.
I have both right here if you want me to share it.
Can you please? I'll stop sharing my screen. Also, hi Dinka. I just noticed you joined us.
I have to
So
wonder why the gardeners always show up during meetings.
we're going to do the 13th first.
Yes. All right. So same as the other minutes, if there's nothing that needs to be edited or changed, I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to approve the minutes for January 13th.
I move to approve.
Motion to,
I
Okay,
motion.
we have
Second.
first by Jasmine, second by Kelly. We'll go ahead and bring that to roll call vote. Starting with Chris,
Aye.
Christina.
aye.
All right. Next we have, wait, sorry. Sorry, Chris, can you put it back? Okay. Louise,
I.
Michael, Alex,
Aye.
Jasmine,
Aye.
Philly,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Emmanuel,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
David.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I say your names all the time, but I can never remember the order. And then Chris, can you pull up the next set of minutes?
120 minutes. 12, 10.
Yes, that's why I can't find the ones for the 20th because it should have been in that email unless it just got missed.
No, I set a filter so that everything that has minutes or agenda goes into this label, but if it's not there, I think maybe she didn't attach it. Or did.
Okay, so we'll ask them to give it for next week.
Okay.
So in that case, then I'd like to entertain a motion to table the minutes for January 20th. Unless somebody here found it. Okay, can we table the minutes since we can't seem to find them?
Yes. Which one are you tabling?
For January 20th?
Yeah, that's fine.
Then I'd like to entertain a motion to table the minutes for January 20th.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you, David and Manuel. We'll go ahead and bring that to roll call vote. Chris,
Aye.
Christina,
Aye.
Louise,
Aye.
Michael, Michael. I'll come back to him. Alex,
Aye.
Jasmine,
Aye.
Philly,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Emmanuel,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
David.
Aye.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we'll be moving on to public comment on non-agenda items. Carrie, do we have any public comment?
We do have public comment. We have the College Discount app. They're an organization that goes around and works with colleges and universities. If you'll allow me to share my screen, they have a video that they want me to play for you. I believe he said it's 3 minutes and 28 seconds, which is a little bit over what you normally allow. And if you would grant him that 28-second leeway, that would be awesome. And I think
Never.
Huh?
I was just saying never, but sorry.
Okay, so also you understand that there is a delay on the YouTube. So we're going to play the video, we're going to let it catch up, and I would also offer him, because this is one of the few times, it's the public, you want to engage with them. So also give them a chance to be able to say anything else. So let me make sure I can share my screen.
Yep, you should be good.
Okay, share screen 1. All right. Right now, all you see is my email, huh? Hold on. Okay, I see a note from Dean Cobb. I tell you that this video is 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Your agenda says, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, it's 3 minutes. Are you willing to extend the 28 seconds? And if that is true, you need to make a motion.
Are they going to speak at all either?
Oh.
Two?
I'm trying to negotiate that.
Oh, okay.
They would
So I
really-
don't, if they want to speak and it's longer than that, you all might want to extend beyond that 28 seconds.
What I've asked is, would they rather speak or show the video? They would rather show the video, and they would like to follow up with an agenda item request, but I said that's up to AS to do. So this is interesting. I'm negotiating. We've never had this public comment thing before, so we're trying to work it out. So what is your group's wish?
I motion to extend public comment by 28 seconds.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we'll bring that to a vote. Chris,
Aye.
Christina,
Aye.
up next. Sorry, I'm just gonna start calling you on my screens. Everyone's moving. David,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Kyle, Kyle,
That's it.
Louise,
Aye.
Michael, Philly,
Aye.
Jasmine.
Aye.
And then did I miss anybody?
Hey,
Oh, Emmanuel.
aye.
All right. Motion passes. Public comment has been extended by 28 seconds.
Okay, I am experiencing difficulty getting to share my screen because on the Zoom meeting, it says it's showing.
Carrie, it was showing.
It was showing? It did show the
Yeah, it was showing before, earlier, when you said, are you just seeing my mail? We were actually seeing the first part of the video.
Okay, so you all see this video? It's blue?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Well, then that's cool. Then guess what? I'm just gonna hit play. Is that good for everyone? Everyone can see it?
We're all good.
All right.
We can't hear it though. Just so you know, Carrie, we can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Yeah,
You
I
get
think
to
you might
share
have to
audio?
connect it. Yeah.
Okay,
share
I need
audio.
to share audio. So I'm under audio. Which one do I pick? Do I pick microphone or same as, it's on same as system.
Oh, not that. Go into your settings for your options.
Uh-huh.
So you want it because you're sharing audio.
Okay, so it's under settings.
No, what else doesn't.
Hold on, sorry, y'all.
Try it without your headphones plugged in. That sometimes helps.
Okay, so let me try playing and see if you can hear it without my headphones.
Student engagement and to
Hear him?
So here's what it does. It combines your student. Hi, ASPCC. My name is Bruce. I'm with App Builder U and also College Discount App, which is formerly College Discount Cards. I've been working in the California community college market for 5 years. And I'm going to show you how my company can make an app for ASPCC to help with student engagement and to solve food insecurity. So here's what it does. It combines your student sign-up info along with student services info and then discounts. Free stuff, food, local, online, Nike, Apple, all that great stuff into one easy-to-use app for your students to download. We look at it as, hey, this is a new website for you, essentially. So kind of taking everything like you have on your website, it's organized nicely here. You've got, your board members, you've got meetings, etc. But putting that on something that students are, a little more familiar with using, such as apps, to really organize everything and kind of keep it in one central spot. So what we're looking at is, it's modern, it's sleek, it provides info at your students' fingertips. And we make updates within 24 hours, where it's hard to sometimes update the website, in compliance with the Brown Act, et cetera. We post agendas 72 hours before. Here's some student services. An example, another college. Here's what part of what your ASPCC's page would look like. So you've got to meet the exec board. We saw how it looked on your website. This is kind of organized here. Cleanly, they can go through, they can email you, they can tweet you. Here's a calendar with Zoom links of upcoming meetings and events. Here is your agendas and minutes, which are all stored there and posted 72 hours prior to the Brown Act. Here is a way to contact you through social media, email, calling, like that's how Victor Valley does it, and then they can apply for Senate seat, etc. So the additional student engagement pieces, connecting directly through the directory. We have live polls to glean student insight. Scavenger hunts. Victor Valley College did a scavenger hunt. 300 people participated to find info with gift cards and push notifications, which is huge. Hey, our event's starting. Hey, join our meeting now. Hey, our agenda's out. Hey, run for office. We looked at student services already. Now, the student discounts part, this comes from the College Discount app. And there's basically, you can download College Discount app. There's hundreds of just great deals, on here to the students. What we do is we import that into your app. Now, student services fees. A lot of students are getting a lot of value because of remote learning. So you can make an access code so that the students can only access the app and get the discounts when they pay their student service fee, you get them a special code. And then lastly, the alternative option, which is a little bit less expensive, would be to join the College Discount Network. So it's not your own app, but you're listed here, okay? They find your college, like they go here, they click on it, like here's Evergreen. So they come in and a lot of the same stuff that you saw on your own app, you know, such as the exec board meetings and drive-through food distribution, other resources, and then here's all the local discounts. This is still listed, but it's just on your own app, so it doesn't have as much functionality and features. So what I was hoping to do is just to get on the agenda at your next meeting, and I look forward to that.
Let me, if you'll give me a moment to.
We can barely hear you, Carrie. I mean, maybe that's just me. I can barely hear you.
Hold on while I get to the YouTube page to see if there's any reaction. So the part of the problem is there is a delay on the YouTube. So I will ask if there's anything he wants to add, but it's up to you. It's public comment. There's no discussion allowed. But if you want to invite him back, you certainly can.
All right. On that note, first to them, thank you for that public comments. It's just sure it's very interesting to hear about us being on an app. I guess we can bring it up with the board if it's something that we would like to go ahead and bring back to another meeting or not. If we do decide to bring it back to a meeting, then we'll certainly reach out to you and let you know so that we can have that discussion further. But on that note, since we can't have much more discussion, we can go ahead and move on with the agenda. Let me just pull it back up. Also, Carrie, did we catch up on the YouTube?
No, it's still playing.
Okay.
I'm typing to him. This is the first time we've had this type of comments, so I'm willing to be a little bit more flexible in like getting information because it's about the public, doing the public interacting.
Okay. So should I wait before moving on then?
If you are comfortable moving on and letting me interrupt in case something else comes up, that is up to you.
Yeah.
Reports, right?
I think we can do that since we just have reports up next. And on that note, we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item 3, introductions and reports. For reports, we'll go based off who I see on my screen first. And so up first, we have David. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
No reports. I mean, or I just want to report that on Friday, me and Christina will be meeting with Dr. Hennis from the Academic Senate, just to go over getting students on hiring committees and what we can do to get about doing that. And then I think on this Saturday, the Board of Trustees will be having its winter retreat. But yeah, that's all.
All right. Thank you, David. Up next on my screen is Kyle. Do you have anything you would like to report?
Yeah, so this past week I met with Chris to talk about ICC. We had a pretty lengthy conversation about that. I think we established a lot. We're going over the constitutions now. We figured out the active clubs, and the Supreme Council is going to be reviewing those and then sending them back to Chris for the final say. And the Supreme Council is going to be coming in hopefully at our next session. I submitted to Mackenzie a request for next meeting to be a discussion item to just talk about the Supreme Council, just kind of so we can clear the air, but also kind of so they can meet everybody. And it's going to be largely focused around what we're trying to accomplish for the year, what are our main prerogatives, and how exactly you guys can help out with that. Because a lot of the Constitution is very outdated, and we just want to bring it up to the times. And the only way we can know if it's outdated is knowing what people are doing, what they're not doing. Do these things exist anymore? Do they not exist? So that's really what we're trying to accomplish. And hopefully next week we can kind of clear the air on that a little bit. And hopefully those questions will make a little bit more sense in context. And in addition to that, I am meeting on Monday with Sarah, forgetting her last name.
Barker.
Sarah, forgot her last name. So she's basically the person who's helping me out a lot with the podcast. And she's going to be providing more information about our next steps after I give her the basic layout. So generally speaking, the podcast setup is first, it's going to be an episode about the vaccine. So it's going to be largely focused on why it's good to get the vaccine, both through student testimonials about why they're a little bit apprehensive, and then a contrast to that, it's going to be a representative from PCC, from the health department, which I still have to reach out to, who will be talking about the benefits of the vaccine and why that's important to take. So that will be the first episode. I can explain the other ones more, but the support report, I don't want to get that much into detail. And I'm meeting with the Economic Workforce and Development tomorrow. And we're going to be going over what they do for their podcast and how that can be implemented into ours. So that's my basic board report. I didn't have any committee meetings this winter.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. Up next on my screen, we have Alex. Do you have anything you would like to report?
So I met with Jasmine last week to discuss an event that we have planned for the end of February. I also met with Philly to discuss how we can optimize and utilize to our Discord server better throughout the semester and reaching out to several programs on campus in order to do so. I met with Louise, I believe that was yesterday, to discuss Welcome Week and ordering things for Welcome Week, which should be done by hopefully next week. And I also met with Mackenzie to start workshopping the student faculty mixer that I also plan to be part of Welcome Week. Other than that, I have nothing to report.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Up next on my screen, we have Michael. Do you have anything you'd like to report? Oh, wait, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Now you're good.
Microphone's really bad. Sorry. I met with Carrie, and we did trading, and then we talked about changing some ICC funding policy. Also met with Chris to talk about that. So going to be working on that. I got the financial budget from Miss Sharon, and I was hoping to share it, but I don't know if it was posted on this agenda. But if not, I can share it next week. And that's all I have to report. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Up next on my screen, we have Emmanuel. Do you have anything you would like to report?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'd like to report that I attended the Health and Safety Standing Committee meeting last week, and the discussion continued on the AP 3570 policy about the smoking policy. And it was tabled for further research on cessation programs. I also met with Laura Hayes from the core program for a planning conversation about a sustainability plans event that is in the works. Also met with our ASVP of Student Services, Luis, to gather up the best options for the Welcome Week giveaway items. We'll be reviewing options by the end of this week to create and submit proposals on that. Also met with Sylvia Talauk from Facility Standing Committee to discuss campus safety revolved around the pros and cons of adding additional video surveillance in our facilities. I signed up for the upcoming Voices of Freedom event that will be hosted by CCC's California Community Colleges and Rising Scholars Network. That will be on February the 5th at 10 a.m. And also, I attended the Indigenous Stewardship and Environmental Justice event hosted by UC San Diego's associate students. Conversations were revolved around sustainability, Q&A format. Also had a meeting with Marissa de la Torre from the Lancer Pantry. We discussed how we can collaborate and promote and improve food sustainability for our campus and local communities. Facility Standing Committee and Budget Resource Allocation Committee meetings are scheduled for tomorrow. And for the committee, coordinating a meeting time has been difficult just due to everybody's availability this winter. So I'm going to be holding off on our next AS Sustainability Committee meeting until next spring or this upcoming spring semester. And I'll be continuing individual winter check-ins. I have 2 left with some of our members from the Sustainability Committee. And I'll be doing some appointments as well today to our committee. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Up next on my screen, we have Louise. Do you have anything you would like to report?
Yes. Just very small things. I'm sure everyone's already kind of talked about what I did this past week. But the updates were that I met with Emmanuel to discuss the incentive items for Welcome Week and the vendors we'll be using. So yes, we are working on getting that finalized by next week. And then I also met with Alex to clarify activities for Welcome Week as well as brainstorm for more programming. And that is all for me.
Thank you, Louise. Up next on my screen, we have Philly. Do you have anything you would like to report?
Yes, I do. So I met with 4 people. I met with Dean Reinhardt of Performing Such Communication Arts. I met with Michael on Monday to take pictures finally. I met Kelly for the graphic for the next town hall. And I also visited her lobby committee and Kyle's Supreme Council. And then I met with Alex last night about revamping the Discord. And so you can look forward to on Friday. It should be looking a lot more different. I will be attending the EEO training workshop on Friday, and the website is now updated with our names, so it no longer says vacant. That's all.
Thank you, Philly. Up next on my screen, we have Kelly. Do you have anything you would like to report?
Hi everyone. Yes. So, oh no. Oh God.
I think you need to mute one of them.
Okay, there we go. So this week has been pretty great for our lobby committee in terms of actually practicing. We got our information together for 4 of these bills. So we do have 4 bills in mind. We don't want to adopt them yet just because we want to wait out until our town hall this upcoming next Friday to confirm that, this is indeed what the students want, that they don't absolutely hate it. They're not like, this is terrible, before we adopt it officially. So as a heads up, it's the CalFresh to kind of lower the requirements for CalFresh so that all students are able to kind of access free food, essentially. It's like a card and you can kind of go shopping with it. Not shopping, but food shopping, essentially. Another thing that we're looking into is the George Floyd bill. Essentially, it makes any officer that's, I guess, if an officer doesn't act to prevent a violent action, they are an accessory to that crime. So they would also be punished in that sense as well. The third one being the third one being student records. So essentially trying to make sure that all the student records and their names are up to date with the government issued most updated version, just in case there's gender changes, name changes. A lot of teachers sometimes they refer to a student with the wrong gender. I mean, this also happens in person when it's not like online, so you can't easily change something like that. It's very uncomfortable for students, so that's something that we want to pursue, especially with all the conversations that are going around. And then the last bill is in regards to medical. So essentially, we want to create like a better career pathways for medical students or pre-med students at Pasadena City College, because we don't have pre-med programs as a 2-year college. Our community is mostly low income and also minority students, and we want to create that pathways to kind of encourage more students to be able to pursue that route. That's just an update on what we're doing. Next Friday, we're going to be having a town hall. We're making it interactive. We're hoping that the poster is going to look interactive so that people are going to come. Once I figure out what the poster looks like and everything else, I'll send you guys an email to see if you guys can forward it to your friends, because word of mouth is kind of what we're hoping for this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Up next on my screen, we have Chris. Do you have anything you would like to report?
So I'm improving registrations on Lancer Life and adding people to the RSVP list who are interested for the virtual club rush as I am doing that. So getting a lot of clubs on board that way. I worked with Michael recently to continue development of how we want to proceed with funding procedures for this semester. Hopefully what I am hoping down the line is for my committee, my elected committee, which is the funding committee, to collaborate with the finance committee to kind of establish a future vision of what ICC funding should be and what it should be like. So that's in the works. I worked with Kyle also very extensively, and his committee helped tremendously with catching us up with the club constitutions, because I know that was kind of something that was put on a back burner for such a long time. So I have good data now to kind of work off of and try to continue to catch all the other clubs up. And that's pretty much it. So just Lancer Life stuff, funding stuff.
All All right. Thank you, Chris. And last but not least on my screen is Jasmine. Do you have anything you would like to report?
Yes, hello everyone. It's good to see everyone. Just a couple things. I was finally able to meet with my committee members. We had a little icebreaker just to get familiar with how we're going to all work as a team and how we can better serve and close the equity gaps within our PCC student body population. And then moving forward, I have also finalized some details for it's still in the works, but some details for our first event. Our first event will be held February 26th from 6th to 7th in collaboration with the Cross Cultural Center and the Campus Activities Committee, which is Alex's committee. And we're going to be having a poetry night in honor of Black History Month. So stay tuned for that. I'll go ahead and drop the information in the chat box. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. And next we have Christina. Do you have anything you'd like to report?
Yeah. So a few things. Like David said, we are meeting with Dr. Hedges on Friday to talk about student representation on hiring committees. And then I've been sending out doodles to kind of coordinate dates with my committee. So hopefully we'll be meeting in the springtime. I'm also working with one of the counselors who said that she wants to hold an event with me with her program where basically we get to introduce anything AS related to them so that there's more students that kind of know what we do. I'll be sending out more details for that probably later when we plan a little bit more, but I'm hoping I can get some of you on board to also come to this and basically show the students of this program like what we're all about and how we could help them. But that's all for me.
Thank you, Christina. As for my own report, I've mostly just been sending emails and getting emails, setting up meetings for the next coming weeks. Now that spring's getting closer, more committees would like to meet, so that's going to be fun to be attending all of those. I also attended a conference earlier this week with David and Kelly, actually. It was an interesting conference to go to. It's just nice to keep hearing that people are still trying to hear from students on how they're feeling during the pandemic and how some teachers are affected and things like budget and everything going on. I won't bore you all with everything, but it was a nice conference to go to. I'm getting the recordings later this week if anybody would like to see them to see what was discussed during that. I'll be meeting with Dean Cobb tomorrow for our check-in, so that'll be really fun. I have all of your office hours now, and so later on today, I'll be officially placing you into different groups for office hours. If the time I put you in doesn't work out for some reason, because if it didn't get updated in the doodle, let me know and I can move you to a different group. We're just going to sort of test pilot this and see how the office hours goes. Hopefully it goes really well. Other than that, that's all I have to report. In that case, then I can move on then to advisor reports. Carrie, Dean Cobb, would either of you like to go next?
I'll go first. I'm going to be quick today. So I'm having a lot of meetings today. That's why I'm going to be quick because next week is going to be, I'm going to take up at least a half an hour. But just, just want to say that enrollment, I just left a meeting with the instructional deans and enrollment is still down for spring. We're down the same date last year, we're down 2,100 students. So this is pretty darn significant. Our instructional deans have had to begin reducing the course offerings. And additionally, so one of the things we did was kind of brainstorm how we can get folks to take classes at PCC. And if you have ideas on this, we won't do this now, but send me emails about this. One of the things a few of us raised was we tend to seek out really traditional age students and high school students. But right now, because of the pandemic and economic downturn and all of this, we have a lot, our communities need us now beyond our traditional age. So we made suggestions to work to reach out to job centers, to job training programs, to the employment office, to senior centers, to Parks and Rec, really to our communities to invite them to be part of us and to take a class at PCC. So that was one of our main, one of the things we talked about. So a small group is going to be formed of that larger group to work on that. And also to, get some help doing that kind of outreach in our community. Like one foundation drawing, our 11. I know my mom goes to the senior center in Pasadena, and they've cut a lot of their little classes where she could take a class here for, pass, no pass or whatever. But English 1A has been cut in half. And that's basically because of low enrollment. And also we had a significant number of students who did not pass English 1A last fall. So the college is now working to reach out to those students to find out what happened. And we are also slowly moving. We're going to start piloting in spring. And in spring, bringing folks back a little bit for those have to kind of classes in preparation for summer, where we'd like to have more students on class, because we really do believe that students are struggling with the exclusively online format. So just so you know, we have a lot of Stat 50 classes open. We have a Stat 18 class open, courses that are not filled. And these are the real classes that students are never open, right? So these are the general ed classes that are never open and they're not filling up. So if you have ideas about how we can reach students, send me an email after the meeting. And I'll definitely make sure that that gets passed on to that. So that's the main thing. And I just want to say, coming and being in all these other meetings, to come to this meeting and see how you all have positioned yourself with other committees on campus, but also statewide, and with other groups and universities and programs and workshops, in order to really develop yourselves as student advocates and leaders for students, is incredibly impressive. I mean, nobody told you to do that. Emmanuel, I was listening to all the things you went to. I'm like, nobody told you to do that, and yet that's exactly what leaders do. David, all of you, and how you are thinking critically and really compassionately on behalf of your stakeholders, your student stakeholders. I was just texting somebody and saying, I really love being in this space because of that. Because the rest of us, we kind of get stuck in the, oh no, what do we do? And you all just flow. You all just like, okay, so I need some more information. I need to connect us to somebody else. I need to pull them into us, and we need to go out to them. And it's almost seamless for you. And so I just want to, really give you your props for doing that and continuously doing that and continuously challenging me to do more of that. And really being fearless in the fact that you do that and continue to serve students. So that's my report.
Thank you, Dinka. Carrie, do you have anything you would like to report to us?
Yes, a lot of little notes. So first of all, I want to let folks know that because of the numbers that we're talking about with COVID and enrollment, there are certain programs that are looking for students to join. And I just want to let you know that EOP&S and NetCare Next Up, they're accepting applications for the spring 21 term. Students are allowed to be in 9 units, and it's a great opportunity for students to access a lot of support and help. So if you know anyone that possibly qualifies for EOP&S, I'll put the link in the chat to encourage folks that, and go look, because you may qualify, and they really do provide a great opportunity, a great foundation, and extra help for families who are struggling, for parents, and for students who also come from limited means. So it's really a great opportunity. If this program is open, you should really take advantage of it. And I'll put that link in the chat so you can encourage folks to join. Also, at a student services meeting, they were beginning to talk about CARES money. So as you know, they've signed the CARES Act, and so additional money will be coming to the community colleges. Last semester, there were several students who left their CARES money on the table, meaning the way that each college is different in how they distribute it. At Fullerton, they just got everybody the entire enrollment and divided that number by how much money, and I got a check sent to me directly. No ifs, ands, or buts. PCC is a little bit different. We are trying to figure out a way to equitably distribute it to make sure that the people who need to get it, get it. And what happened is that these folks they're not familiar with our system. They may not know that they have to go look and accept that check. They may not know that they have to look at financial aid. So really, it's important that you all are aware of that, so that those of you that got the CARES check, that you share with your committee members, your friends, anyone, that they know that it's there. We reached out to a lot of folks. We called folks. We said, hey, don't leave this money on the table. But it turned out a lot of times they just didn't know that it was there. They didn't know that they should access that. They get a lot of emails and say they just ignored the email. So don't let that money, and I know that there's certain folks on here who did not pick up their money. Don't let that happen again. Make sure you pick up your money because there's going to be more, because it sounds like the Biden administration is probably going to provide additional aid. And make sure you do that, and let's make sure we share that with all of your constituents. There's a couple other things going on. I have asked Lindsay, who does an amazing job with a lot of different projects. She is trained to do something called the Myers-Briggs inventory. It's a personality inventory. It looks at what are some of your traits and some of your habits are. It's also, if folks know what Enneagram is, Enneagram. She is trained to do the MBTI, so she will be sending you an email to a link to ask you to go through and do the inventory. Some of you may have already done it. This is the longer version. So please go ahead and do that. And then I have asked Mackenzie to schedule a time then that Lindsay can come in and talk about this. I usually like to do this around mid-year because by now you've all had a chance to work with each other, get to know each other a little bit more. And what MBTI does, it's really great. All of a sudden it gives you these keys. So all of a sudden you'll understand someone's point of view and their perspective on how they operate. And you're like, oh, now I get it. Last year's group was like, wow, because we really we learned how people think, people who enjoy structure, people who don't enjoy structure. And so they were able to kind of work together to say, okay, Chris really enjoys structure. So I know that I need to be able to speak to him in that manner. And Chris, I always tease you about your list, so forgive me. So that's going to be coming up. When that comes, please make sure you do that. Mackenzie and I are talking about training dates, and I think what we're looking at doing is normally I don't want to intrude into finals for you all, but normally we would not talk about doing some sort of activity during the holiday, but during the presidential weekend, I was considering, and I'll leave it up to you all, that we would do the training on that Friday. I have 4 1.5-hour segments that I'd like to do with you all. They don't have to be done. I don't want them done back to back because that would frankly kill me and kill all of you. The thought was, originally I said we can do 1 a day, but during finals, I don't want to mess with your final schedule, but I was thinking maybe we do 2 on Friday and 2 on Monday, something like that. Because I know with COVID, no one's going anywhere. So that is something when Mackenzie sends that out, please give your opinion so we know what's going on. It is now transfer time. And for all of you that are transferring, you've all heard me on the broken record, go to privates, look at privates to see how much money they're going to give you, right? And if you are asking me for a letter of recommendation, please give me at least 2 weeks notice because I'm a slow writer, and you need to send me the link, and you need to send me kind of your most recent resume and generally whatever introduction letter or essay, personal essay they ask you to submit. Please submit that to me. Yes, you should all go to Claremont if they will pay you. If they will give you a full ride to Claremont, my thing is wherever gives you a full ride, you go. But Claremont, we've had 2 students go there very successfully and have very fulfilling college experiences. So I do often recommend that. And for everyone who's considering Berkeley, you need to look at Stanford, because if you're good enough for Berkeley, you're good enough for Stanford. So look for wherever's going to pay you to go. Last thing is we have, I'm part of the Safe Zones Committee, and tomorrow we are going to be hosting our Safe Zones 1.0 training for gender identity. And this is something, it's a 4-hour training. We're going to go through gender identity, construction, transgender awareness. And it's our precursor to our LGBTQ, which is Safe Zones 2.0. If there's enough interest here, I can ask that we get a training set aside for AS and your committee members. That is, I know some of you like lobby committee and Supreme Council are kind of going through questions and talking about preferred pronouns and gender identity. So if you're interested in getting that together, let me know and we can get that done. And also I put in the chat contact for Veer. Her full name is Veresta Vergel de Dios. Everyone just calls her Veer. She's our health educator. So I know David is going to put together a committee for working group. She's our contact person. She can talk a lot about the health and wellness, what's going on, and also about the vaccine. So that's the contact name for Veer. So please make sure we contact here. And Veer is the best. She is awesome, easy to work with. And so it would be a great idea to include her in that. Woo. All right. Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carrie. Up next for our agenda, we have financial reports. Michael, do we have any financial reports for today?
Yeah, I received the current budget from Miss Sharon, but I sent it to Francis. I don't think it got added on. I'll do a financial report next week.
Okay. Sounds good. Then moving on to next agenda item, shared governance discussion. So same as every meeting, if there's something that you heard during somebody's reports or something that you heard in a shared governance meeting that you've attended that you want to further discuss with everybody, now's the time that you can go ahead and do so to talk about it. I'll give you all a moment to unmute yourselves if there's anything you'd like to say. If not, then we'll move on. All right. Hearing nothing, then we'll go ahead and move on with the agenda. Moving on to action items. First, action item A, Supreme Council appointments. Leave this to Kyle.
So this one's really simple. I have one person to appoint. Her name's Brianna Kopian, because we had someone who had to leave the committee for personal reasons. So that's really it. Can I can make the motion, right?
Yep.
Or you have to entertain it that I make it because I'm not chair.
You make it. I entertain since I'm chairing the meeting, so you can motion.
Just that motion for Supreme Council matters. I move to appoint.
Can we get a second?
Second.
All right. We'll go ahead, or I can just ask any objections. Right, Inka? Do we have any objections? No? Then it gets approved. So yeah, now you have a new appointment.
Congratulations. Can I ask that you please send that name directly to Francis? Otherwise the minutes don't get, that's why we got held up with the minutes. Please send her the correct spelling.
All right. So next action item, item B, ad hoc committee. I will go ahead and hand this over to David.
All right. All right, so who was the list of everyone that wanted to be on this committee? Because I got a few. So I got Alex, Mackenzie, Louise, and then Philly tentatively, maybe perhaps. I think Michael said he also wanted to be on there. Did you guys do you guys know if any of your committee members also wanted to be?
Yeah, I have one committee member who was interested.
Okay, cool. What are the names?
I'll just type it in the chat because she has a really long name.
Yeah, but primarily this ad hoc committee will be tasked with sort of an overall campaign to reach students and to assure them of any fears that they might have with taking a vaccine. And so a lot of this will be us doing research, and compiling that research in a way that is very digestible for students so that they could understand quickly what this vaccine is. Because the science behind this vaccine, whether this is the Pfizer vaccine or the Moderna vaccine, it's very interesting, especially the Pfizer one. So I think students will be very interested to know about it. And if we present the research well, then I think we can make some real progress. And it's very important that students get this information soon. But I'm not entirely sure when students will actually be able to get this vaccine, just because of the distribution plans from the state. But I imagine that it'll definitely be before fall. So that would be. No, it's not specifically a student trustee committee. It's just an ad hoc in general that I'll be chairing. How do you pronounce that, by the way, Alex?
Abigya Thapamagar.
Abigya. Okay, so I moved to establish an ad hoc committee with myself as the chair and with the members to consist of Mackenzie Rivera, Alex Quintanar, Michael Garcia, Luis Panaligan, and Abigya Thapamagar.
Can we get a second?
Second.
A second.
All right. And do we have any objections? That was totally an objection. No.
Do you have a discussion?
Hmm?
We have a quick discussion.
Okay.
I just would like to know how long this ad hoc committees generally are for a certain period of time. Do we have an idea of how long this will last?
David, do you have any idea how long this committee may last for? That might have been his phone that went off.
Do you just want, I mean, if you just want to say it's into, yeah, he has to step away. If you just want to set a limit saying this is for this semester.
Yeah. So do we need to change the motion to have this like just for this semester then?
Until COVID is over. That might be never, Christina. We'll go ahead with this. We'll go ahead with this as is. That's fine. Especially because he stepped away. That's fine.
Okay. Did anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns for this?
Can I add myself to this? Because if my first episode of the podcast is going to be on the vaccine itself, it might be beneficial for me to be at least in the room. And I don't call it for quorum in the first place. So it wouldn't go against quorum. That would mean amending your recent statement, your motion.
Okay. Then we need to edit that motion then. Do we wait for David to come back? Because I can't.
Who was the mover and seconder?
David. He
And
moved
who's
it, and then I
second?
think it was Jasmine I heard who did it.
So this is what you can do. If the seconder removes their support, then the motion dies for lack of a second and someone can make a new one, or we can wait for David to come back.
Does the group have a preference on which one we do?
Can we table it for next agenda? Or like, I don't know.
You could move to reorder the agenda of the day, but although technically because you have a mover and a seconder and you're in discussion, you have to take action. So I probably would say Jasmine, if you seconded, if you say you'd like to remove your seconded and no one else seconds, then the motion dies for lack of a second and someone can make a new one.
Okay, I will remove my second motion.
So with this new motion, is somebody gonna have to remember all the names of the members who would like to be on this committee?
Yes.
Who made this motion?
David, but he stepped away to
David,
take
but
a
he
phone
had
call.
to step away.
So the seconder can't remove if the first doesn't remove, if the motioner is not present to remove, to rescind.
The seconder can't just rescind their support?
No.
Oh.
Well, no, yeah, it's usually the maker of the motion who rescinds the motion.
Oh, and he's back. Otherwise, I was gonna say, let's just vote and everyone vote no.
Or just create a time and you could change it at a later date if necessary.
Did I move wrong?
Kyla wants to join.
Yeah, I don't count for quorum, but my first episode is going to be on the vaccine, and I think it'll be useful to be in that discussion as well.
I mean, technically, you can just be added on AS committee's appointments.
I thought so too.
Do that.
What?
Do we want to do that then?
Yeah.
Then in that case, we'll move on with our agenda. Both of you, somebody, remind
You
us
take
to
a
do
vote.
this at the end of the meeting. A vote?
You need to take a vote. You have a motion and a seconder. We've had discussion. You need to do a vote.
All right. Then we're going back to voting. Can I just ask, do we have any, what's the word? I forgot the word already. Does anybody disagree? I forgot what the word is right now.
Objections.
Objections. There we go. Do we have any objections? Hearing none, then motion passes. So we can move on then with the agenda. Moving on to discussion items. Discussion item A, invited guests. We have none. Moving on to discussion item B, future events. So now's the time everybody gets to display their lovely homework that you were asked to do last meeting, and Carrie did send you reminders as well. So now's the time they can go ahead and present an event idea that you have for spring. I believe you're supposed to have event name, budget, objective. Okay, am I missing anything else they were supposed to have?
Timeline. I need to know
Timeline.
the date, what day they want to do it.
There you go. And so for this, I'll go ahead and open the floor so anybody can go ahead and share first. But if we don't get anybody shared, then I will start calling on people. And so I'll go ahead and open the floor now and mute myself so y'all can speak. We don't bite. Y'all can share.
So,
All right, I guess I'll go. You want me to go first?
Yeah, so no, I just want to throw this in super quick because I had it on my list and it's been sitting here for a while. And I apologize, this is kind of like coming up from the grave, but I know we were working on this for a while and progress kind of stalled. This was the privacy survey that we wanted to go ahead and send out. Not sure if anyone has any news on the progress of that in terms of where it is in administration, or has any tips about next steps, because I don't want the hard work that the committee and especially Crystal and collaborating with us to kind of just sit there. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and leave it there if anyone has any suggestions or thoughts.
I don't know, Carrie, Dinka, would either of you know if there was any updates with this?
I don't think there are any updates. I think they're still moving, so they haven't stopped. But one of the things is during winter, most of faculty are not on campus, and so they don't go to meetings, and that's why we don't have shared governance meetings for the most part that include faculty, because they're not here. And then when we bring them in, we have to pay them. So, so you probably won't see any additional movement until spring starts.
Thank you. Chris, did you have any other questions or anything regarding this?
Yeah, to kind of rewind and kind of set the stage for where we kind of left off. I believe Crystal went ahead and sent out a draft survey to everybody. It was my fault for not adding it to the agenda on time to have AS approve that draft. And that's where we are. So we have good content and we have Crystal on board, but I'm just not too sure where we kind of go from here. If anybody has any suggestions, I mean, I can bring it back as an agenda item for next week to go ahead and approve that draft survey. But after that, I just wanted to know if there's any actionable things that, you know, we can do. I know I kind of went ahead and took charge of this working group, but this is kind of me reaching out to the rest of the working group and just in general AS to see what we can do next after this as students to kind of help move the process along, especially once spring starts.
Yeah, so regarding the survey, I know I was able to fill it out. Is there any way that we can see what what the results are, like where we might need to add a few more questions, where we might want to maybe condense our questions? I don't know, any feedback on the survey itself, because I know I saw the questions and I completed it, but I'm not sure if that went through, if we were able to all successfully complete it. What our thoughts were on that.
Yeah, as far as I know, it was just the draft, so it's not like
Mhm.
officially sent out to any students. But I believe, and checking the link now, it is expired, so I can't show you if I wanted to. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I'm not too familiar, I guess, with kind of necessarily getting things done between us and administration. So this is just me kind of reaching out to see if anybody has any suggestions on how to do that. But yeah, I mean, I can go ahead and definitely email Crystal to try and get the ball rolling again, just to kind of have that draft up. But I'm just not sure where we kind of go from here is all. That's just kind of my concern.
Yeah, I'm still on board with following through with the survey. I just I feel like we would need more feedback from the questions that we have, if if they're accurate, if there's any adjustments to be made or anything like that, and then also what Crystal's what's going on with Crystal right now, right? I think she's the one that can help us just roll it out and get it to the student body.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of considering the timeline on this, and my concern is we will have a policy, but we will be in person again once we have that policy, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, and
we're just
for me, I just it was really important to get that feedback at that time, because we are kind of setting the bar for future virtual I don't know, Zoom University, whatever this is.
Just a note though, our technology master plan does address the fact that students want more hybrid courses and more virtual courses. And so even if we are going to be back in person, this is still very relevant, because we're going to be offering more hybrid courses to meet that demand. So I think it's still important that we still pursue it. I guess a suggestion would be, if our group takes the survey as it is in its entirety, and then have Crystal send us those results, and maybe we can go based off of that and see where, what we have so far. With us all having taken that survey, we could, give our own feedback of what we thought about the survey. But that's just a suggestion.
Okay.
I agree.
I think I'll talk with Carrie more to kind of see what we want out of this. And I'll approach Crystal and try and get this pushed through. Okay.
Is there anything else about this they had any more comments or questions, or just wanted to hear more from us on?
No, it's just like I know, like for a while we were kind of really at this, and then it just kind of stopped. And I think that was kind of around the holidays, when everybody was kind of needed some time to kind of recharge. So I just wanted to this is kind of one of the things that we were working on last time. So I just wanted continuity and continue the progress that we made.
Then, since we sort of covered all that, if we want to bring it back as an agenda item, you can always email me and we'll get it back on. I know you still have to talk to Karen and everything about that. On that notes, then we can go ahead and move on to the next person, talk more about other events ideas they have, just for the sake of time. Then I believe, Kyle, you had something you wanted to share with the group. Also, you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I just realized. Okay, can I share a screen really fast? Let me just take you through it. We're really on docs. So it's very simple. I brought this up sort of the last session. There's an idea about like paying for college, like a scholarship event, but I kind of wanted to broaden that. So this lays out everything Carrie asked for the event. So I have the date. It's after acceptances are rendered, which is generally, they said on the website I use the UCs, but generally Cal State's come out before that anyway. So they'll be out around that time. So it's between April 30th and June 1st, which is it's like a month period basically. And in that month, the goal will be possibly a series of events. I'm not sure about it, but it's just how do you pay for college? And because people are going to be making their decisions, there's a lot of push towards how do we get into these colleges, and then once they get there, making the choice is really the hard part. So it's really a question of like private schools, UC, CSU, what's the most beneficial financial choice to make? And a lot of these students don't know that. And that's kind of the goal of the event. So I've pretty much listed out everything, what ideas I kind of had for the events. The goal will be to make sure that they know what scholarships are available to them. So there's individual and school specific. Like, for example, UC Irvine, they have a specific scholarship for when you apply. You also can apply for the scholarship even before you get into the school. And when you get, if you were to get into that school and decide to go there, that's when you would receive the scholarship money. And a lot of schools also have similar scholarships to that. Like UCLA has a, I'm trying to think, it's, now I'm blanking on the name of it. Okay, alumni scholarship. They have an alumni scholarship, for example, that you apply for before you get into the school. And a lot of these schools have similar things such as that. And they need to know that, they need to be aware of that, and outside scholarship opportunities that are beyond the school themselves. And then they need to learn how loans are, what kind of different loans there are, what is work study, do they qualify? So there's a bunch of questions that need to be answered. So the goal would be to try to find people from those schools who have direct knowledge, so financial aid officers, ideally, and get their purview on the matter and explain student outcomes. Basically, this student did this and then they had to pay $70,000 in debt. You don't want to do that. As a transfer student, going to a $60,000 a year private school may not be feasible if you don't get much aid. So these things need to be established. I mean, it sounds self-explanatory, but you never know what could happen. And so that's generally the goal, is to try to lay out clearly all the things and all the opportunities that they have, and through credible sources, which would be financial aid officers and possibly a financial planner to talk about how that would impact the rest of their lives. And then hopefully it could be free, depending if the faculty members from the other schools would be willing to come on basically on their own dime and wouldn't charge for it. But I'm not sure about that until I contact them and get their quotes if they're going to charge, or see if they would be willing to come for free. That's pretty much the event.
All right. Does anyone have any comments, questions, concerns, anything for Kyle?
I just recommend that you work with Manuel, because some of the things you're asking for, they actually provide. So partner up with them so you're not reinventing the wheel.
Okay, sounds good.
And then I know you're talking about possibly doing this as a series of multiple events. Do you see this being like a standalone event, or doing through your podcast, or how exactly do you want to do it?
I think that it should be, I mean, I'm kind of leaving that open for discussion because I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I've been more focused on the podcast, but I definitely want an episode on paying for college. But I definitely think this would be a good event because students are going to have questions, and just having it on the podcast, allowing them to submit questions. Yes, that's a possible avenue, but it doesn't quell their thirst for knowing these things. So there's still going to be a bunch of unanswered questions. That's really the reason why we possibly want to have an event around this, so that they can have questions, get their questions answered, and have their own situation where they can delve directly into detail, how they're going to pay for it, what choices should they make, what choices shouldn't they make, et cetera, et cetera.
All right. Is there any other feedback you need from us surrounding this event?
Not really.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns, anything? If not, then we can go to the next presenter and you can share your idea for your event. So who wants to go up next? Any volunteers before I start picking somebody?
I can go.
All right. Thank you, Louise.
Yes. Let's see. Let me share my screen and see if this works. Give me a second. I have so many tabs open. Okay. Share.
Don't worry, me too.
That's the
I
right
always have a
one.
million.
Please be the right one. Okay. Do you see that?
Yep, I see it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so in the last meeting, I think I talked about having an Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month event. This is going to be all the way in May, since that is when AAPI HM happens. Oh man, that's going to be a mouthful. Okay. So purpose is kind of just having this event to hold space representing uplifting AAPI stories. I'm being really ambitious with this event. Honestly, this is just a bunch of brainstormed ideas, but seeing if I can even do all of it. I'm trying to do one where I'll have an Understanding Black and Asian Solidarity event, as well as like a AAPI Artivism event, which is basically something that Emmanuel had told me about, I think a while ago, which I thought was really cool. Basically like using art for activism, right? And there's a lot of like Asian American Pacific Islander artists that I know, and it'd be really cool to have them come in. And then I'm only trying to do this in like 2, maybe 3 days, because I know a whole week is really long. But I am asking for a lot of help from my committee and also from the AS board. Another thing for this event is having an UndocuYouth API panel. I know a lot of people who are who identify as API and also are undocumented. And I think it would be really cool to see the intersectionality of the API identity and the impact of like API lives with the Black and Asian Solidarity event as well. I don't know how this boba workshop is going to work out, but I just thought that would be fun to add. Let's go over to staging. Yeah, so I'll be asking collaboration from you all, as well as from my committee. I'll do it I'm hoping to do this in a month in advance, but I'll obviously be asking speakers beforehand, see if they're interested, because you do have to ask them earlier before later, right, to get them to come in. And my budget is also ambitious. This really is just dependent on like how much I can do with this event, like the boba kit, the art kit. I do want to make enamel pins specifically for this event. I think that'd be really cute. And then publicity. I think there's a lot of affinity groups and clubs on campus that would like to see events like this or identify with these events. And I think we could definitely ask them to come and just see what happens with this event. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Louise. Does anybody here have any comments, questions, concerns, anything for Louise?
Pens, I love it. Enamel pens.
Honestly, I'm super excited.
I do love enamel pins.
Yeah. So yeah, please help me.
I love these ideas. Can you please send them to Mackenzie? I saw a couple of you had these outlines, so that way we have them in one place.
Oh yeah, I basically copied it off of welcome week thing. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I'll send it to Mackenzie right now. Okay. Anything else?
I love the ambition.
Thanks. I know, I'm like, I have 4 months. I can do it. We'll see. I really hope so. This will be like my baby project for the end of my term. Yeah.
I do like the panel you have in mind and how you want to have boba kits. I think it's something that'd be really great to have.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. That would be sanitary because like getting individual boba kits would be very expensive. And I'm wondering if we can get like bulk, but then we'd have to separate them. So yeah, that one's a little ambitious, but
yeah. I know
we're talking about it.
I know a seller who makes boba kits. We can talk to them and see if we can get some sort of deal or for cheaper. I'll help you look into all this. I know you mentioned earlier like getting help from like AS board. I know like during this planning stage and everything, is there anything you need from us right now to help you with this, or is it just something you just want to work on over time as we get closer to it?
I think a little bit of both. I think having starting these conversations with people that you do know is really good because obviously we don't want to ask them a month later. It's easier to plan now, I think. Even though it is a little ahead. If anyone knows anyone who would be willing to host a Understanding Black and Asian Solidarity, AAPI Artivism, or the Boba Workshop, I know some people, but if you also know people, that'd be really good as well. You can have options to choose from. also let me know. And yeah, I'll ask y'all later once this gets closer as well.
Does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns, anything for Louise?
I just wanted to add, maybe you could probably reach out to Desiree Zuniga. I honestly got the artivism idea from her.
Oh.
So you could probably collab with Equipo as well. But I know that, I mean, with Equipo, I know there is big diversity. So that might help you.
Yeah. I don't think they necessarily have to be identified as Asian American or Pacific Islander. I think it's nice to also have that diversity and work together to just kind of, work towards a similar goal.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely ask.
Anything else for Louise while we have her time here for this? If not, then we can go ahead and move on to the next presenter, whoever wants to volunteer to go next.
I can go next.
All right. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay. So, okay, just preface this poster. Apparently, some people thought it was a little bit, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. You just could look at it and tell me if you would come to something like this. Let me see. Where is it? All right.
Should we be scared for this poster, Kelly?
No. All right, here it is.
I'm sure it's great.
Okay. So would you come to so the essential premise of this is that we want to invite students to talk about their needs, right? Discuss the bills. And I kind of put the topics of what the bills are, but I didn't want to limit it. So I was thinking of deleting that so they don't feel like, oh, we're only talking about these 3 things. Even though I did, there is an and more. But would you come to something like this, or would you be like, boring? What is this? Is it confusing about, what we want from the people? I guess it's
I feel like it works.
Oh, Emmanuel art from Emmanuel. All right, so I guess it's not too ugly.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward on what you're going to talk about. It's not too crowded. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to speak too much on the presentation of this because I cannot make flyers, so I will let Philly speak more on that. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I mean, you're pretty straightforward on dates, times, the Zoom ID, what's being discussed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm sorry.
Design, I stay silent on because I know nothing on it. But overall, I don't think it's a bad flyer.
I see. Yeah, I think so. What I'm hearing from Mackenzie is that the content is good, but the graphics need to change, which I agree. Okay, I see.
Maybe, I don't know if there's a legal issue, but maybe you could add the CalFresh logo. I know that at PCC we had a she's a social worker. Her name was Valerie. I think early last year, or it may have been fall of 2019, where she helped enroll students into the CalFresh program. Might be cool to include this person.
Mm-hmm.
At least maybe get advice.
Campus police. Well, yeah, I guess it would be all police. But I guess they have, I don't know, maybe inciting their own opinions about just campus police, but I guess we should include, we shouldn't limit it to just campus police. Yeah, sure.
I think you set yourself up and your public up for issues because people will come loaded and ready to talk about campus police, and really the bill does not necessarily affect them.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were thinking of presenting the 4 bills that we were looking into, and then gathering their opinions, and really kind of leaving it up to discussion in terms of what do you think is important. I can also show you guys the survey that I'm planning to send out, that hopefully might gather some more information about whether or not they think financial aid is the most problem, or whatever it is personally to them. Yeah, I would really be open to suggestion on how to disseminate this information. I think really a lot of it comes down to emailing professors that you have personal connections with. So once Philly and I decide on how we want for the graphic graphic of this, I can send out an email, and maybe if you guys should just forward that email to like a professor that you think have students who are interested in either coming or filling out the survey. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm also doing a Kahoot. I would just kind of put up like, what is CalFresh? And kind of do like these basic things. And then just kind of like after the present, or maybe after a short presentation, just to like inform them of what the bills are. I could be like, what does this bill do? What is it called? And then the person that gets the most number of points gets like a gift card of their choice. So there's some bonding there going on. Yeah, I don't want it to go over 45 minutes. I want to keep it short, like as short as possible, because the shorter it is, I think the more like, I think people really respond well to like fast paced things. Short Kelly. Short. Yeah, usually my events go on for like 17 hours. I get it. Or I'm short too. I guess that both makes sense.
Actually, both.
Both, exactly. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, people actually think I'm 5'7" until they meet me and they're like, you are like a mushroom. And I'm like, yeah. But yeah, I can show you guys the survey here too. So in terms of the survey, I really wanted to get their like also their I guess what is their there's a certain word for this, like their demographic, because I think there are certain issues that affect certain populations, and we should emphasize that when we lobby. So hopefully we'll get some responses in terms of age. I want to know whether or not they're like a traditional, like non-traditional student. I think that really affects in terms of like some people are 45 with a kid, and some people are straight out of high school. They have parental support, so their concerns are extremely different, and how much time they spend at school is also extremely different as well. Ethnicity, I guess I could make this optional, but I would really like to know. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to generate that statistic. And so here that some of the issues that, this is the format, right? So 1 to 5, you kind of rated on a scale of 1 to 5 on the level of importance. But more so, like, do you guys think mental health, financial support, racial equity, gender equity, housing insecurity, are there any other issues that you think are really prevalent on campus that you think I should also include without being like too overwhelming in terms of like the number of things, maybe like 2 more things?
Well, would food insecurity go into housing insecurity? Because I think that's what
That's
you.
actually a really good question, because some people are like, oh, wait, food insecurity, you can be food insecure but not house insecure, and you can be vice versa. So I guess it would be different, huh? Yeah, that's a good point.
What if they're formerly incarcerated, system impacted, or justice impacted?
Should it be like resources for justice impacted, or should it be, yeah, maybe like,
Yeah,
yeah,
resources for justice impacted.
Mhm.
Also in the flyer, if you put police, I'm sure that population probably won't go. So you should
Mhm.
also put justice impacted or justice informed.
Oh, true.
And it looks a little patriotic. That's all I wanted to mention.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I'm planning to send out the emails maybe like this Thursday to the professors, give them like a week notice to send it out to their students, and then post it on like social media the week of, or maybe like 3 days before, just because I know like if I post something 2 weeks before, nobody's gonna come. So it's more likely they'll come if I post a little bit sooner, or like a sooner to the actual date. But yeah, that's kind of my plan. So I guess if you have any like other ideas in terms of maybe the poster, like I would be really welcome to it, just because if somebody mentioned that they would scroll right past this, so I can kind of see what they mean. Yeah. But other than that, I think I'm finished with my presentation.
Anybody have any flyer suggestions for Kelly here?
I can comment. But
Yes.
I think we'll use this graphic for when we send it to professors, but I'd rather do a infographic format for the getting them interested, because like that's the hot new thing, is that you have like the single phrase slides, and it's like stuff like legislation that impacts you, right? And that'll draw them in. And just like the flyer on its own is not going to really draw people in who would be interested in this stuff, because they wouldn't know like the specifics in terms of the laws. And so if we make it simple and easy to draw them in just by using the infographic format, then that's how I'll post for my social media side. And then Kelly can manage the you should be able to manage the professor stuff. And then you can send them this graphic if they just want like a primer.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I guess we could make a separate one then for like the kids. And I could probably also send that to the professor too, just because I'm assuming that if they want to post it on their canvas, they'll be posting the poster. But yeah.
Let me add to
Yeah,
that.
because- oh, sorry.
Let me add to one something. Voice your needs. What does that mean? How do I know what I need? What are we talking about? Voice my needs. Well, I'm really, really tired. I need a nap. Do you really want them to voice their needs?
I mean, that could be a need. Like literally, it could be anything. It could be like, what do you? I mean, I don't want to say social justice or financial needs because they might not exactly have that need. Just whatever need they have. If they need to take a nap, come voice it. You know, maybe is it because we have too many like school is too hard, right? Maybe that's a problem they have. And even though we can't lobby for it, it's still like I guess there's a specific concern.
What about
Is there
uplift your voice? Uplift our voice or uplift your voices? Uplift your student voice?
Uplift your student voice? Yeah, for sure. Like discuss
just
your.
trying to think of how students would respond to this. Discuss state bills and voice your needs.
Yeah, I'll comment on that. I think like what Jasmine said, if you say lift your voice, you take a more empowering stance. If you say voice your needs, it's more of like a we're listening for your opinion type of thing. And Kyle's is looking more for like a I am a constituent and I want to tell you my legal interests or something. So that's like we're trying to figure out the wording for that too.
I see. Yeah, no, I totally see that point of it. Definitely. Yeah. I just think I don't want them to be confused. I definitely want them to like I kind of want this to be a space for yeah, we're gonna do a fun Kahoot, we're gonna do a game, and also we're gonna show them like, oh, this is kind of the legislation that that might be interesting for you. We're kind of planning to lobby on this. But more so I want to focus the majority of the time to kind of like having a conversation with these people and really seeing like what is your need, right? Having them fill out this form, this survey, kind of talking with them, and hopefully they get a few like freebies, like in terms of like t-shirts and agenda. So I kind of want it to be more of a collaborative conversational session aside from the game part and the information part. That's kind of what I was thinking. So I was thinking if I say something like because the thing is we're not going to be lobbying at the event. It's just kind of us collecting their help us lift your voices to the Capitol. Okay, that's good, Kyle. Should we? I don't know. Is that kind of? Let's see. What if we put it on here? Let's see what it looks like. Help us lift your voices to the. Is that too ambiguous? Maybe I feel like you know what? Maybe what's making this seem super like what is it boxed in is because is the graphics. Like I think once Philly and I like make this look prettier, it might be more welcoming, and then it might be like, oh yeah, discuss state needs. I mean, state bills, voice my needs. Of course, I want to voice my needs. I want cow fresh. You know, you can even put like financial aid here. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe what Philip was saying is from the infographic side, maybe start with like a fact, like I don't know, let's say 30% of students in community college, I'm making this up, absolutely making this up, are food insecure. Are you one of those? Come discuss it. Let's discuss state bills and discuss your needs. Maybe start with a fact, like a startling statistic, because that catches people's attention.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, for sure. That's great. Yeah, we could say like, oh, okay, 50% of, passing city college show economic need or show like, I guess, additional need for financial support. Is this you? Come talk. But I don't want to limit them to just one thing. Maybe we could do like multiple facts. But then I don't know if we have a gender pronoun statistic. Yeah, I just don't want to limit it to that one thing. But that's good. Then maybe we can use like a statistic, be like, hey, are you this person? Or how about like, are you a PCC student? No, that's dumb. Never mind.
Well, the thing is with anything like this, you need something to resonate with them. If it doesn't resonate with them, they're going to do exactly what you said in the beginning. They're going to scroll past it. Oh, more of that. I'm done. I'm going to continue. Like they need a reason to click. They need a reason to go.
Just put free like as the biggest word in there. Boom.
Yes. Just the free ASBCC t-shirt. Just make that like the whole poster. And they say, by the way, we're also talking about legislation.
No, just put free legislation town hall. That's it.
Yeah, free legislation town hall. I will also give you $1,000 for the first 1,000 people. So you are for sure to receive $1,000.
You know what's really crazy? You all, the first time you did a giveaway, people really didn't come, or they weren't interested. But the minute you posted pictures of what you were giving away, people really flocked towards it. So I know it's kind of simple and it's not like maybe where you want to go, but I think you do emphasize, like everyone says, free. Maybe you want to put the agenda, maybe, I don't know what you else want. We have leftover masks. I'll go in tomorrow and see what we have left over. Does any AS member mind us giving away whatever they have left over from their events? That would be Kelly, Alex, and Louise. We have leftovers. Do you mind us giving that away?
There's like 5 boxes of shirts on my desk. Take them, please.
Exactly. Let's give those away.
That's funny.
I don't mind.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, no, for sure. I think so. Maybe, oh my gosh, do we have actually, like, I guess whoever designed the t-shirt, Alex, do you still have a picture of the t-shirt? Like, I just want to like kind of downsize it and put it on the corner, you know, because earlier I found, oh, sorry.
I should somewhere.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, because earlier I had a picture of a cartoon t-shirt, but it didn't make any sense. Also a cartoon agenda, but that didn't make any sense. So maybe if we get a picture. And Jasmine, if you have the picture of the agenda from when you like designed it, you can send me a picture. I would love you forever, and I can just put it on here.
All right. Does anyone have any other comments, questions, suggestions, anything for Kelly while we have her here?
All I'll say is I think we're worrying too much about the details, and I'll just work on that with Kelly because it's like 2 separate things. I feel like we shouldn't spend too much time on it in a meeting. So.
Yep. Sorry.
So. Oh, no apologies. Are we still going with the event? Because I can go with mine.
Yep.
Even though it's not really like an event.
Floor is yours if you'd like to.
Okay. So basically, it's very. I don't need to share my screen. It's really simple, but this is something that I wrote down a long time ago. Was that I should do a graphic design. So this is related to what just happened, or a branding workshop, and basically. Christina would know this too, but I have a lot of time with like, I guess, learning how to use style and stuff because they teach you a lot about stuff like rules of thirds, white space, and so I think I can help the people in the ICC learn more about how to design decent posters because I think a lot of them out there are very not clean. They're very text heavy, or they're not minimalistic, and it's not eye catchy. And they spam that like 10 times in their story. So either that, or I can do a branding workshop, which basically teaches ICC members or anyone who wants to learn how to manage a brand and stuff like how to understand your audience, understand who you're sending all these graphics out to. And yeah, there's no budget for this because unless you want to pay me, but I am a part of this. This is volunteer time. So yeah, that's my event idea.
It does sound like a good idea. It looks like, according to the chat, that people on the board are interested in attending this workshop as well. Is there a certain time that you wanted to maybe do this event, or is it still up in the air?
I was waiting for a committee, but I can honestly do it like next week. I was waiting for a committee just because I need to like offload work. But all this requires is just me and a PowerPoint slide. So like I should probably teach it earlier because I know Chris is having his club rush, and if people want to start advertising, they should probably know how to do design or manage, their Instagram or other social media. So.
Right. Anybody have any comments, questions, concerns, anything for Philly?
Yeah, we can build this into ICC training, but obviously that comes after Club Rush. And I know you said you wanted to kind of approach them before so they have an idea of how to advertise during Club Rush. But this is something that, that's just timing. We and me and Karen, you can kind of talk about, how publicity can work with ICC for sure, though, in the future. Because I know we're wanting them to use Lancer Life more, and I see a lot of people are just posting on the news articles images, for example, like they aren't really appealing. So yeah.
Anybody else have anything they want to throw out to Philly? No. Well, the workshop does sound like a good idea. I know we can always coordinate after this too, like when you want to do this event, because if you want to do it soon, we can put it on the agenda to just make this an official event to get going, or we can always figure out timeline stuff later too. on that note, does anybody have anything else they want to either ask Philly or go ahead and present their own event idea so we can just keep the ball moving with time? I know more of you have events ideas.
I can go next, but I don't have a screen to share.
Okay,
So I'm on
you're
my
good.
iPad. Okay, so the upcoming event that is currently in the works is the spoken word event, and that is for the purpose of uplifting student voices in honor of Black History Month in collaboration with the Cross Cultural Center and campus activities. In terms of budgeting, we don't have any tentative budgets yet, just because we're still in the process of finalizing the programming, and I will be meeting with Alex today and discussing this part. But yeah, the sign up form is up and ready, and I will paste it onto here. If any of you want to participate again, that was awesome. To pretty much at one of the biggest things that I wanted to do for this event is have many people from all over campus join. So that's including like the English division and folks from different programs, such as UGMA and Black Academia, Puente Core. Sorry, I'm having issues copying the link on here.
No worries, you're good. If anything, if you can't share it now, you can always share it to us later too.
Yeah, I'm gonna paste it on later. But that's about it. And that event will be on a Thursday, February 25th from 6 to 7. And it's going to be on StreamYard. And what StreamYard is a platform where we can stream from multiple platforms such as Facebook and YouTube. And it's alive at the same time, and people can host watch parties and have like a chat box or a chat area and watch together. So it'll be a way of connecting as well. So if you all have any other suggestions for that event, I would love to hear it. If you all would like to, I would love for you all to participate if you all have a passion for spoken word. And yeah, that's it for my event.
Well, I am happy to hear that you're doing another spoken word event. Don't worry, I'll sign up again to do this. I do think it's a good idea to do this. It did seem to be pretty popular when you did it last time as well. Yeah, I'll go ahead and stop talking. Does anybody else have anything that they want to say to Jasmine on this event? Comments, questions, concerns?
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna say, like, for the spoken word, usually, like, last time, was it like, I just don't know, like, how do you sign up to speak the words, and who signed up last time? Because I was thinking a lot of speech and debate folks might be really interested, because essentially that's all they do.
Yes, awesome. So there was a sign up form that is created. It's now created again. Just that I'm on my iPad and it's really hard to copy things on here. So I'm going to join from my computer in a second. But it's a sign up form. It was created on Google and on Google Forms, and it wasn't really circulated last time. So that's why we had issues getting performers, but we were able to, we managed to do it with the folks that signed up. But I do need a lot more help with that, with the process of, I guess, marketing the event.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of like speech folks would be really into it. Or we can just all do it. Do we have to be the author of the poem? I guess so.
As long as you give credit, you're saying that you're reciting a poem out, and then say why, that poem really resonated with you, or why you chose that poem for the theme. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and I was like do an FDR speech. No, I won't do it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's all I had to ask. I just wanted to see.
I was going to ask, well, you kind of already addressed it, but like the spoken words that I've been to, like before COVID, it's kind of cool when they just pass you the mic, not necessarily signing up. I think, maybe not adding a sign up list as in like performers.
But then the way the StreamYard works is we have what is it, like a
like a backstage sort of thing.
Backstage.
Yeah, Matt does this great whole stage setup, so you look like you're on a stage, and it's really kind of fun. So it helps to have that sign up list.
Yeah, so that's the sign up form if you all want to sign up now, or I don't know, send that sign up form. But I know today I am going to meet with Alex and hopefully finalize a flyer and get some publicity going out like as soon as spring starts, just because Black History Month is the shortest month of the year, and and we only have 2 weeks to prepare for this event because of the first short week that we have for spring so it's just 2 weeks that we have before this event during spring. So that's why I really need help, like having the sign up circulated. And the reason why we need to have the sign up is so we have a structure behind the backstage, behind the different, like, timing that each of the performers need, and any videos, any footage that we're going to have to feature, and all that stuff that goes into organizing the spoken word event. So yeah, any other questions?
So because of how backstage is set up and everything, is there any way you could set up so like there could be like an open session, like how Emmanuel mentioned, like people just being able to be handed the mic? Do you think there's any way we could set that up near the end, or like at the end be like, oh, like here's the link if you want to come in right now to say anything, or is it just we have to sign up before?
That would be really, really cool. I'm just thinking how we can have a little bit more control so that there's not any like discriminatory language or any people coming in and trying to like say like some messed up things. Yeah.
Anybody else have any
But
comments?
I'll talk to Matt and see how we can kind of, if that's an option, and if we can make that work, that would be awesome, because we do want as much participation as possible, right? And we do want to emphasize or focus on the student voices across campus. So thank you for that suggestion.
Do you have a flyer?
The flyer will be finalized today.
Okay, dope.
Just to clarify, one sec, let me share screen. I have a question for you, Jasmine. So on your sign up sheet, it has this statement, which is kind of confusing. By signing up, you agree to perform non-offensive or discriminatory language towards a race, gender, sexuality, culture, or lifestyle. Do you agree to perform non-offensive or discriminatory language? As in, you agree to not to perform offensive or discriminatory language. So, this is separate from discriminatory language.
Okay, so you're saying to adjust,
Yeah. And then is it all based around race, gender, sexuality, culture, or lifestyle? Is that what those spoken words about?
No, it's honoring Black History Month. So it would be non-offensive towards this certain race and any other race.
Okay, so they should have a not. So by signing up, you agree not to perform offensive or discriminatory language towards a race, gender, sexuality, culture, or lifestyle, right?
Got it.
All right, well, I'm just making sure, otherwise I read it wrong. That's why I'm trying to get clarification.
Thank you for clarifying.
Any other comments, questions, concerns, anything for Jasmine? If not, then we can, or Carrie, for how we're doing on time, do we want to keep sharing with this, or do we want to keep moving on with training, or how should we go about this? Because we do have like 7 minutes until 2 o'clock.
Yeah, who has not presented one of their?
Me.
Me? Alex, you've not gone. Is there anyone else? Okay, Alex, 2 minutes.
Okay. So welcome. I have 2, but I think I only have time for 1 right now. I will share my screen.
Also, if people are short on time, we can bring this back next week too if people want to keep talking.
I can talk quickly. So welcome week, I have almost all planned out. I'm for the purpose to be able to connect student body with one another and faculty during this time of distance learning to create the PCC community wherever we are. For Tuesday, I have during college hour, the student services game night, but it's like a game hour. That'll include a PCC website scavenger hunt and a student services bingo with the small incentive mailer that is being put together by Louise and Emmanuel doing research for budget. They're still doing the research on that and should have it by the end of this week. So I don't have a budget for that one. And it'll most likely be hosted through our Discord and maybe live stream to YouTube as well. Wednesday, I'm probably just going to have a movie night. I still need to pick the movie, and budget for that would be around $500 to $600. I'll probably have the proposed budget ready for next meeting. Thursday, I have a student faculty mixer, also during college hour, hosted on the Zoom based off of how I'm going to talk to Matt about how he hosted his mixers in the past and use a similar format to that. I'm working with Mackenzie to plan that, and we plan on reaching out to Professor Hennis to help us reach faculty voices. And then Friday, we have a game night on Discord. There's a game that I like to play called Code Words. It's free. It's just in browser. And there's also Jackbox, which I really like doing. That's this event. I can go on to my next one if this one doesn't have any questions. I tried to talk fast because I know we're on time crunch.
Anybody have a quick question? No? Then Alex, you can move on to the next one.
Okay, for the next event, it would be this one. So the 21st of May is the United Nations World Day for Culture, Diversity, and Dialogue Development. So I was thinking that we could do a Culture Diversity Week leading up to that Friday, which is the 21st. The goals of this event would be to support sustainable systems for governance of culture, achieve an increased mobility of artists and cultural professionals, integrate culture and sustainable development frameworks, and promote human rights and fundamental freedoms. I was hoping to work with Jasmine, Emmanuel, and Louise on this event in some capacity, but this is just like something that I have in mind that I want to do. I don't really have a budget for it yet because I don't know what it would entail. But that's my other event that I really want to get done this semester. So yeah.
Anybody have any comments, questions, concerns, or anything on this or either of Alex's events since we have them up?
I'd be glad to help. And if you could probably just elaborate more on like the sustainability of culture.
Yeah, I'm doing more research right now because because I was looking at to do a similar thing. I was doing more research, so I will definitely reach out to you when I figure out what that actually means because it kept coming up over and over again. But I want to figure out what that actually means in action. And if you want to if you know or have any input, I gladly take it from you.
Yeah, definitely count me in.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to say before we run out of time? No?
Cool, that's my piece.
All right. And then, Carrie, should we continue these homework assignments for next week, or do we want people to be in the next stages of their planning, or how should we do this?
Yes, because the thing is this, I really want all of you to have your activities at least fleshed out and have an ARF attached to them and done. Because now's the time we need to do this because things are going to get busy. People are going to get accepted to college. Stuff's going to happen. So I think this needs to be a regular piece. I think there's a lot of good conversation. And if we have to, I'll try and figure out a way because I think what would be good also is I'd love for you to be dropped into chat rooms together, 2 or 3 of you, to sit and talk through some of these things and flesh more of them out and to have them done. Because I don't want to I'm going to remind you all that most of you are required to do 2 activities. Last semester I let you all kind of go because hell, it was COVID. but now we have this time. So I really want you all to be able to start doing those things. So if some of you actually have to do 3 activities, so you need to get those things through. And if we need to meet like this as a group, then we do that. I understand that Mackenzie's going to drop you into discussion, office hours groups, and that's another time that work can happen too. But whatever needs to be done to get us moving forward and getting us to have stuff on the books so that we can put out a calendar so people know what's going on.
And David had to go. Yep, we have to add Kyle. All right. And so homework wise, we just have people continue to expand the events that they have now, or how to do this? I know some people also didn't share.
Everyone, yeah, I thought everyone shared. If you haven't shared, you're up on the block next to share. If you've shared, you should be moving towards creating an ARF. And the ARF is now live on Lancer Life. So that's your next step. You'll have to have, we've got 2 more weeks left. You should, I'm going to really say you need to have these 2 things, two events scheduled and done. They don't have to be perfect, but they have to be at least on the schedule, and you have to have goals to be working for, okay? So I think we need to finish up because people got to go.
Yeah. All right, then in this case, we can move on. AS training, we have none. Moving on, appointment to college-wide committees. Carrie, do you know of any college-wide committees we need to add people on?
No, but you need to add Kyle onto the.
Yep, that's right next.
Yeah.
So appointment to AS committees, will be appointing Kyle to the Vaccine Assurance Ad Hoc Committee. Do we have any other AS committee appointments? I know some of you have been adding people to your committees.
I do, but they're actually members. I want to appoint them to vice chair and secretary positions.
You don't do that with us. You can do that internally.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Anybody else? No. Then we can move on. Moving on to bill acceptance. Kelly, I believe we have none. I'm gonna go with a yes on that. Approval ICC funding. Remember Chris mentioned we don't do that yet. It's the spring. Public comment on non-agenda items. Do we have any public comment on the YouTube?
Chris was monitoring that for me because I ran out of bandwidth.
So there are none, but there was a follow-up email from the person that presented that video that asked to speak because he didn't see an opportunity to do that in the YouTube live stream. Not sure what we do about that, if we let him in, or Carrie, how do you want to approach this?
No, because because if he has any comment, he needs to type it in that box. I've suggested that he approach you all individually and have individual conversations with you first, and then if you want to, you can bring them back as an agenda item, and then they can come into the Zoom room that way.
Okay, all right, that's fine then.
And in that case, we can move on to announcements. Anybody have any announcements?
I actually have one.
Okay.
Sorry, it came in during the meeting. That's why I got distracted and excited. The person who's doing our escape room came back, and we are a go for the escape room. So I'm really excited that we will be able to get to do that. I'm going to send out a doodle. And I know most of you, I looked at this date, may not be available, but I really hope that you can all find space to do this. We're going to try and find a time. So I'll send the doodle out.
Okay, did you just want to use the doodle that everybody use for office hours, or do you want to do a new doodle?
You know, I was looking at that. Okay, let me just tell you, it's February 11th, and that's a Thursday. And looking at your schedules for Thursday, there is no availability on Thursdays. I don't know if we can find a time where we can go evening.
Mm-hmm.
So
the new doodle it is.
I have an announcement. I just wanted to remind students that they have at Knox Church still on Wednesdays from 8 to 12, the Shower of Hope. And I believe they're doing COVID testing there now too, at the same time. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Manuel. Anybody else have any announcements? No? Then future meeting dates and time. Next meeting is February 3rd. As always, make sure you send me your agenda items beforehand by the 28th. If you have any supplemental items, be sure you include it when you send me the item. Other than that, then I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 2:03 p.m.
I motion to adjourn.
Right. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any objections? Nope. All right, then meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for sticking around this long. We'll go ahead and get us off the live stream.